We'll treat you right. We'll treat you right.
It's gotta be cool that you can actually rock to a song that has your name in it. So, Matt Gibbs is here from Sunrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales, and of course the show is called Auto Repair with Personal Care, and the phone line is open if you want to call Matt during the course of the show with a question or a comment. The number is 622-9622. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Larry.
How was your weekend? Father's Day and all?
Yeah, it was good.
Did you stay home? Did you go out?
Well, we were.
Do you have a boat? You own a boat?
Well, yeah, I don't. Yeah, kinda. We have a boat that
Kind of?
we share. Yeah.
It's this.
Yeah.
Did you go out on it this weekend?
Oh yeah. We had all the older youth from the church came out to the lake Saturday, and
The older youth.
Yeah, it wasn't the little kids.
Okay,
It was more
okay.
the
18,
young
17?
adults, the teenagers and stuff.
Okay.
So they came out and we barbecued and went jet skiing and tubing and boating and swimming and fishing.
Where'd you go?
Lake Harris.
Oh, Lake Harris.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a good time. And then yesterday was fun. So instead of going back to staying at the lake, we went to church Sunday morning and just came home and I just kind of saw how the kids just came in during the day.
Yeah.
And my middle daughter, she announced that she was,
What?
she's pregnant.
Okay. I could tell by you had the pee getting ready. I figured that's what it was. But
So I'm going to be a grandpa again.
Oh, you were reluctant to say it though.
Well, I don't know if she wanted that out yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it's out now.
It's out now.
I had a good weekend. I spent Saturday with my family because my nephew got married. I spent yesterday with my son, which was beautiful. Just I don't need presents. I don't need dinners. Just hang out and chat with me a little bit.
Yeah,
it's always a great thing.
That's right.
So on Saturday at the wedding, my nephew Shannon was talking to me about you.
Really?
Because he called your show. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah, about his car that vibrates.
Yes, and so he said he went under it and did what you were saying. He said, Matt was right, but when he was under there, he discovered that the car must have been wrecked because he saw some bent metal or something. So, and you know what I saw? So he told me to tell you that. I told him to call in because I'm not going to be able to say any more than what I just said. But listen to this. On the way back from the wedding, this was out in Moss Bluff, so kind of in the middle of, oh no, it was just on the other side of Silver Springs, where it's a 2-lane and then it becomes a 4.
Okay. There
was a truck, like just off the side of the road, and the thing that turns the wheels, what do you call that thing? The drive shaft? Is that called the drive shaft?
Okay.
Apparently it was broken off.
Okay.
And it was spinning, hitting the concrete, so it must have broken somehow. Does that happen a lot?
Yeah. Well,
it does?
Not a lot. Hopefully you catch it because there were some signs that something major wrong, and whoever had the truck just decided that's not that important.
But let me ask you this: there was a bag of garbage, looked like a bag of garbage, in the road, just not too far from where this was, and I wondered if he swerved to get out of its way, and that actually broke it. Could that happen?
Or maybe it broke and that's where the garbage flew out of the back
That
of
could
the
be
truck.
too. That could be. Yeah.
No, because swerving, if it was the drive shaft, that really wouldn't have caused it to break.
Okay. So maybe he lost it when that thing fell off of there.
Yeah, because it might have, because if that drive shaft hit the ground while he's going and he's under acceleration, it'll make the car do that number.
Oh, just lift up?
Yeah.
That was a radio moment. You had to see that. Yeah. So, but you could see it spinning and clankety, and I'm thinking, why don't they turn the engine off?
That would have been a really good thing to do right there. Just shut it down.
But I mean, they were in a bad place. It was like it looked like mushy ground on the other side of the, on the shoulder. It didn't look solid. So. And
a drive shaft, and at the end of the day, today he's gonna, if this happened yesterday, today he's gonna have to deal with this. Now it's gonna, instead of a $50 U joint, now it's probably gonna be a $500 drive shaft. Do
you know? I heard a lady on Clark Howard talking to Clark Howard. She had an old car and she just loved her old Toyota Corolla.
Okay.
And she was told it would be $4,000 in repairs by the dealership. And Clark gave her good advice. First of all, he said, how come you don't want to sell it? And she had sentimental reasons. Okay, so He said, well, why don't you go to a private mechanic, because they usually are cheaper. Plus, they're not in the business to sell you cars. So he said, if you're going to the dealer, they're going to try to sell you a car. So, is that generally across the board true? Like,
I worked in a dealership
Right.
for a long time, and a dealership is an odd place. It's let's just take one and we'll just talk about it for a minute. I worked for the Sullivan Group for a number of years.
Okay.
Okay, so if let's say you have a car and you bring it down to Sullivan, let's just say the Cadillac store, okay, and you want to get something serviced. The service department is that department. You drive to that department, you're greeted by that department, by the employees of that department, you're dealing with the management of that department. And so you come in, you go to the service writer, you tell them what to do, they write you up, you go sit in the waiting room, or you have someone come pick you up or whatever. If you go into the sales department, you're in the sales department. If you're in the body shop, you're in the body shop. If you're in the service department, you're in the service department. So unless you actually...
So there's really no pressure to buy a car if you're not in that section?
There really isn't.
Okay.
And now a dealer, a dealership, a sales guy, he might be thinking outside the box. Let me go down and hang around the service department.
That could be.
And just kind of talk and maybe create.
That's a smart salesman, isn't it?
That's a good sales tactic.
Yeah.
Now, when I was a technician at Sullivan, if I was very involved with my customers, I tried to, and no disrespect to service advisors, but I tried to deal with the customers' cars that I was working on at the dealer. I tried to get involved with them, with the customer.
Right.
Kind of bypass the service advisor. So that now, in talking with the customer, if they showed interest in, maybe it's time for me just to get another car, then I would take them to a salesman that, I had a relationship up there that I knew that was a decent person and wouldn't take advantage of people. And I would sell cars that way. That's how.
But you know what I think the average person thinks? Especially if money is an issue. The average person thinks this. Okay, using this lady's car as an example. It's $4,000 to fix it. If she gets a car, it's probably going to be at least $12,000 for a used car. Am I right?
Yeah, probably somewhere in there, depending on what she's wanting to buy.
Okay. And her car will be traded in, and it will be fixed up, and it will be sold again. Somebody will be driving her car.
Eventually, the dealership probably wouldn't fix that car up. That car would probably just go to an auction or go to a wholesaler or even go to a salvage yard, depending on.
But aside from the salvage yard option, it would be fixed and somebody would drive it.
Here's the thing, though.
So she's thinking $4,000 is a lot less than $12,000,
Right.
and it's going to be fixed anyway.
But here's the thing that in this conversation, what we started, and one of the things that you said, there was a sentimental value to the car.
Right,
it could have been her dad's car or mom's car.
Right.
It could have been so. Now that's different. That's
huge.
It's huge to me. If this car is more than just a car, I look at it different than a car that is just a mode of transportation to get to work, to get to school, to do whatever. This car had there was an attachment to this car,
right,
and you have to take that into consideration. The other side to the coin is that, did it really need $4,000 worth of work to keep the car safe and driving? I don't know. I don't know what all she was looking at doing.
Right.
But now here's my perspective at that. We go in there and do it step by step, piece by piece. I don't want people to go without food or electric or because their car broke.
Right.
There are certain things that you have to deal with today. These are safety issues. Unless we can't let safety issues just go undone.
Right.
But other stuff, you just kind of prioritize things and help them work it into their budget, and then she gets to keep the car, and maybe it didn't cost $4,000.
Well, let me ask this part. This is kind of something that Clark said. the $4,000 figure won't be $4,000 if you go someplace other than the dealership, implying that dealerships typically will charge you more than a private garage. Is that true?
Yes, but typically yes.
But probably not that much different, do you think?
Here's my. I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot today, being an independent garage. Here's my philosophy. My philosophy is going. If let's say you need something for your house, you need a little hardware item.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you got the local hardware store right around the corner. Okay. And then you got they have the same thing over at Walmart. Which one is typically cheaper?
Right, Walmart, yeah.
Walmart's usually cheaper.
Yeah.
I never understood, and I worked many years at a dealership, and I never understood why is it so expensive to take your car to the dealer? And in our industry, it's backwards. We're cheaper than the dealership is.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true, yeah.
Why can't the dealership be cheaper than everybody else when Walmart's cheaper than everybody else and Target's
The
cheaper?
bigger you are, the cheaper it should be.
Right, because of
Yeah.
volume and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So
That is interesting.
no one's ever really given me an answer. It's just something that I have seen over, doing this stuff for 30 years. It's why isn't it cheaper to go to the dealer?
Okay, we have a phone call, and I have a thought on that, but I don't want to supersede the phone call. So let's go to the call first. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Matt. It's
Morning, Sonny.
I have one of our great cars that they discontinued manufacturing, and now I receive the recall on it for the airbags.
Yep.
And I didn't receive it from the dealer. I just, we heard it on the air. But anyway, I looked into it, and the more I look into it, the more I find out it's not the driver's airbag, it's the passenger's airbag.
Right.
Now, they can't tell me when they think they're going to be able to get to it. They have to do this, that, and the other thing. But anyway, if I decided that I wanted to sell that car, how does that affect affect the sale or the money I would get, because the recall hasn't been fixed yet? And that's no fault of mine. It's just that there's so many cars involved. It's going to take a long time to come up with the fix.
To be honest with you, it's not going to affect the price of the car at all. The car is worth what the car is worth, and whether it has a recall out on it or not have, or you haven't gotten the information or whatever, it's on our side, on the dealer side, it's not going to affect the price of the car. And one of the reasons why is, let's say you brought that car to me and you traded it in and we got you into another car and you have an airbag issue. I know that you have an airbag issue. I know that there is going to be a recall, and the recall isn't going to cost me anything anyway. So it's not going to cost me any money to fix your airbags when I know that General Motors is going to pay to fix your airbag. So it won't have any effect.
All right, but it was odd that the airbags are no good, and then you look it up on the website, you find out there's your car listed, that year and model, and you read the thing and you see the article on TV, and this guy's his face is all screwed up, he lost an eye and everything else because the airbag just deployed. And then when you further look into it, you find out, gee, it isn't in this car, my car, it doesn't involve the driver's side airbag, it's the passenger side airbag. Now, in the original investigation, why couldn't they just say one of the airbags or tell you which one it is? But, it just bothered me that there's a lot more information out there. You just got to go research it a little bit. But it makes no difference. The car has to have, I believe it's the sensor on that airbag. Not the airbag, it's the sensor that could, which causes it to go off is supposedly defective or could be defective. And even if it could be under the program, they will replace this sensor.
Right.
From what I'm understanding.
Well, from what I've gathered is that there's different components of the airbag systems in all sorts of cars and all sorts of manufacturers. The driver's side on Acuras, the passenger side on Hondas, the side curtains on Toyotas. I think that they're having a bunch of issues with a bunch of the cars, and it's a sensor is not going to cause someone to lose an eye. All the sensor does is it senses the impact, and then it sends a signal to the airbag to deploy. So it's not the sensor isn't going to cause an eye to come out. When the airbag is being deployed, something's happening that is throwing material in people's faces.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm just going by my particular car because other cars, like you had just said, are different.
Right,
airbags,
exactly,
whether
and
it's
that's-
side or whatever. But still, I was curious about the resale value of the car.
it's not
how
going to
that-
affect the resale value of the car.
All righty. Well, anyway, thank you very much. It took up too much time already.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
We'll take a little break and we'll be right back. You do have another phone call coming, and we'll do that when we come back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be mostly sunny today. There can be a thunderstorm around during the afternoon and evening hours. The high 92 to 96, then turning out to mainly clear overnight, low 73 to 77. Tomorrow, partly sunny and hot. There can be a thunderstorm in one or two spots in the afternoon. The high 91 to 95. And for Wednesday, partly sunny. The high again 91 to 95. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
The Coke Zero 400. It's where American pride meets NASCAR history. This year, you can catch a glimpse of NASCAR history yet to come with the all-new seats and all-new views of Daytona Rising. And be sure to stick around for one of the Southeast's largest fireworks shows after the race. Kids 12 and under are $10 for the Coke Zero 400, powered by Coca-Cola. Sunday night, July 5th. New seats are selling fast. Guarantee yours now at 1-800-PIT-SHOP or DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Want to learn more about your furnace or air conditioner? Tune in this Saturday for free tips and expert advice on how to get the most out of your heating and air conditioning system. Or get a free AC rejuvenation by being the first person to go to cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com. Saturday, free tips and expert advice how to get the most out of your heating and air conditioning system. Or get a free AC rejuvenation by being the first person to go to cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Fidgeting can make it easier to lose weight. Many couples think that once they're married, all their issues with in-laws will disappear, but Steinorth says a marriage magnifies these problems, so if you're having family clashes with potential in-laws, it's best to resolve those issues before you get married. Just like couples can take out a loan for a house or a new car, there's been a huge surge in loan companies catering to wannabe parents.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, Matt Gibbs is here. If you have a question for Matt, go ahead and call in. I know some of you were trying to call through, and then we went to the break, so this is a good time to call in. And by the way, sometime later on, we'll be asking another trivia question to try to get a winner for those tickets to the Coke Zero 400. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah, hi guys. Say, with the airbag thing there, is it illegal for you or anybody else to make one of those things so it doesn't work?
Yes, it's illegal for me to do that. I cannot disable any kind of safety device, and I wouldn't. I know people. I mean, you can. It's your car, but I can't.
Okay, so in other words, there's no law saying that you can't make them unusable.
No.
Yeah. Is that a hard thing to do?
No.
No. you know, the thing is, let's say you're on a recall, and you called your dealer up and said, well, oh, yeah, fine, yeah, you're one of the cars that's going to be recalled. We're not going to be able to get the part in for about 6 months because the demand for them. What are you supposed to do, drive around with a car that could kill you? I mean...
Well, I would. I wouldn't disable it if for my family's sake, because I wonder, you know, here's the deal. How many cars are out there with this issue? But there's probably millions of cars.
Yeah.
And how many issues have been in those millions of cars? I've done recall stuff on cars for years, and I've never experienced the condition of what the recall is being done for. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
I've never seen the action of what the recall is for ever happen on a car.
Yeah.
With my own eyes.
Supposedly, what happens when it goes on, inflates some metal particles come flying out of it, and I guess 5 people were killed by getting hit in the head and the chest by flying metal.
Right, and that's what I'm understanding is part of what's going on. And then, like Sonny was saying, there's some issues with maybe some faulty sensors or something like that. But you know, how many you know, in relation to it's kind of like flying in an airplane, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like it
much.
happens, but what are the chances of you being in an airplane when it you know, you got probably a better chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah.
So I would I would strongly suggest that you don't tamper with it. You know, but there's always that possibility. There's always that chance.
Well, according to what Sonny said, I guess it's just for the passenger side, right? Is that correct?
Maybe on Sonny's car. That's what he was saying. On another make, another model, another year, it might be another issue with somewhere, you know, part of the airbag system just located in a different place.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, that company that made those airbags, they got to be really hit pretty hard. You know, if they got to replace all of them, my God, that'll probably put them out of business.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to buy their stock today.
Today, yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, man.
You're welcome.
So my quick thought on, just to go back to the topic of why it's more expensive at a dealer. I'm really asking the question, not that I have any information, but is it possible that they always use brand new parts, whereas a mechanic, independent like yourself, you can buy a rebuilt part, or no?
No. This is why. It's all about dollars and cents.
Okay.
I don't know if have you walked into the new DeLuca store?
No.
Don't just walk in. I'm serious. It's like going to Disneyland or something. I mean, it is just crazy. They have their own restaurant in there. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Good food? Is it Japanese
Mojo's.
food? Oh, it's Mojo's.
Mojo's is in.
You would think it'd be Japanese food, wouldn't you?
But here, that's the deal. You know, what did that place cost for Frank DeLuca to?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's about dollars and cents, and the overheads and the insurances and the you know, the labor costs and employee costs.
Right. So you just got to cover your costs.
So you got to cover your costs.
So you could have a restaurant at your place. Just
I could charge everybody.
And
just start charging them double.
I think in your place it would be hot dogs, right? Hamburgers,
sandwiches,
Yes. Matt, what's your phone number?
My phone number is 352-690-1993.
Always good. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Larry.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pam Puso.